Hey guys, welcome back to the channel.
With Cindy and Jerry. This is Talk It Up, where we discuss our life, our kids,
the differences between us,
the past, the present,
just a little bit of everything.
Everything unscripted.
30 plus years together.
With 30 plus years, with 30 something years of experience and talk and all that good stuff.
Yes. So our last channel we were talking about GenX.
Our last episode.
Yes.
GenX.
Last episode, not channel.
GenX. And she wanted to end it off because again we were watching a lot of old stuff. And
so yeah, like I was saying on the last one.
Menudo.
So
actually, even before we get into Menudo, our friend came by, well, cousin of mine and stuff like that, and she confirmed.
Oh, so my best friend, which is also his cousin's wife.
Yes.
Was over the other day, we were going to an event, and he asked her to confirm. Remember, I don't know if you saw a couple episodes back where I was saying that his family has been here longer than mine, so they're not really traditional Puerto Rican. I call them fake Puerto Ricans because I had to show him a lot of stuff when we started dating. So he asked her, hey, she actually joked in the car with me, she goes, he actually got me confused when he called her madrina. And I was like, she was, because I'm used to calling her Lydia. That's
you know what?
Also.
When I said that, she did put a face.
Yeah.
So I had to say Lydia, but she's my godmother.
Yeah, so she got confused from it.
Right,
yeah.
It was weird. But it was about making penne, which is the pork dish. Because I know for a fact my mom didn't make it. And she confirmed. No, I don't. Yeah,
so
I didn't make it.
The whole car ride, I was like, yeah, they're fake Puerto Ricans. The minute they came off the plane, they said, ditch the flag. Don't talk Spanish.
Come on. That's wrong. That is so wrong.
They told me, from now on, we're American. Even though Puerto Ricans are American, but they're like, no Spanish in the house. That's it.
She didn't make it. She confirmed. She was like, I recall it. And I'm like, see? It was like, hey, Thanksgiving is here. Turkey. Christmas is here. They probably serve turkey or ham. I just don't remember.
Yeah, we joked about it the whole ride to the event.
Really?
Like, she goes, all those years, I don't even remember Hela speaking Spanish. She was like, she always spoke English.
No, but she had an accent. But you're right. She didn't speak Spanish. I can't. I wish I could answer these questions of why. I don't know. I mean, a friend of mine said, well, maybe they just. It was tough being Puerto Rican.
And your family's very light skinned.
They are. I don't know.
So they just wanted to leave being Hispanic behind.
Anyway, all right, so that is it. So again, I didn't probably eat penne until I met your family, and the only thing I ate was
chicharrones that they
that they had it in the store and stuff like that.
Yeah,
and that was it with a little lemon juice. It was good.
So deprived. So back to the
Menudo.
So I was telling the other night, like I said,
we're watching 80s stuff.
He was watching 80s stuff. You know how some couples do. One couple's on the bed watching TV, listening to one thing, and the other one's on their phone listening to another thing. Mm-hmm. So I was on my phone.
Oh yes.
And
yes. I heard the song.
Cannonball came on. Like a cannonball. So he's like, "What is that?" He turns around real quick. That sounds familiar. I've heard that before. What is that? And I started laughing. I'm like, "Are you for real?" And he was like,
"Yeah."
No, I'm serious. I'm like,
"Yeah."
This is Menudo. What do you mean you don't know what Menudo is? He's like, I know the song. I was like, well, who doesn't know the song? Who hasn't watched Cannonball?
Cannonball, the movie with Burt Reynolds. Some of you know it from the 80s.
So, he actually went looking for the video. Because he was like, I was like, well, there is a video. I said, but I even knew where the song was in the movie. Because I was like, you got to go to the movie when they're starting the race. When they're all hopping in the cars, that's when the song comes on. He goes, for real? I'm like, yes, sure, right? No. He doesn't say for real. He goes, for sure? So I was like, yeah.
There was no doubt about it. I looked and it was there. So, but it's an English song, so you said they were trying.
Versions.
They were doing.
They were crossing over because Menudo's been around since the 70s.
Oh, really?
So he didn't even know the concept. I was explaining to him that Menudo is not the band. Menudo is the name of the group. It's not the boys per se.
They pull them out as they get older.
As they age out, they replace them.
Yeah.
They wanted to keep them young. So.
And they still have them.
Yes.
Like, I looked online and there was still a new current Menudo boy band group.
I was like...
it's not as popular, you said.
No, it's not as popular. They fell back. But it's not as popular here. They're still very popular in a lot of Latin countries.
Okay.
But I was shocked. I was like, so you didn't know Menudo Mania? And he goes, what are you talking about? I was like, like the Beatles, where girls are chasing them down and everything. I'm like, Menudo Mania was real. I was like, you didn't know about dancing? goes, what are you talking about? I'm like,
I just, yeah.
And then he started laughing. I'm like, listen, I'm not the only girl. I know there was a lot of you Latina girls or Italian girls that were obsessed with menudo, and you had your 5 friends or your 5 sisters, and you would watch their videos, and you would practice those steps, and you would perform them for your family. Listen, I'm not going to deny it. Yeah. We would line up, me and my sisters, and we would perform for my dad.
They had some crazy outfits back then. Now, when I saw the current menudo, you know, they look cool looking.
This was the 80s. Of course, it was glitter and all that stuff. They had to, you know, and neon.
I thought they were going into space.
No, listen. They were every teenage girl's hot dream, okay? It may be a joke to you, but they were like, not that it's a joke, but you didn't understand. They were like Latin girls, Backstreet Boys, or...
Okay, I'm just saying, I didn't have any sisters. I don't recall Janet listening to it, even though... She said, I think Janet was into it. You know what I'm saying?
I'm going to be like, Janet, were you a menudo girl? And when she says, I'm like, dude, you are so out of touch with your cousins.
I just don't recall it. I blocked it out. So, you know?
They were like menudo fan clubs.
Did they have action figures?
Yeah.
Really? Wow.
They had lunch boxes, keychains, T-shirts, everything that they could put their names on. Their names are on it.
Right now, my eyes are closed because I'm trying to picture.
They had
some menudo stuff.
They did novelas.
What was your song you said?
Súbete a mi moto. I know. Listen, I was a teenage girl.
No.
I was a teenage Puerto Rican Dominican girl obsessed with their music. Yeah, their music. It was amazing. Well, we thought it was amazing.
It probably was back then.
It was.
Yeah.
One of my sisters the other day came up on her social media, and she like tagged me and sent it to me. Do you remember this? Laughing out loud in big bold letters. Yeah. I'm glad our generation didn't have cell phones with cameras, because a lot of us would be paying for it right now.
Well, you know, which is weird because a lot of, you know, here's the funny part, and I've read these articles. A lot of the young generation are now like suing their parents or asking them to take off these photos.
Oh, the embarrassing
moment, because it is true. Now we don't post
embarrassing.
We don't post a lot of content about kids. I think
no, and we have
tons.
We have tons of funny, compromising,
but
we won't embarrass them.
And I think there's this now new thing where people are like, you have your account, and maybe only 10% is you, and like 80%
is your kids.
It's like your kids, and
which like I get people telling me, well, you're always posting stuff about you on your page. It's my page.
Yeah.
The page says my name on it. It doesn't have my kids.
I'm not gonna post everything on my kids.
My kids have their own channel. If they have, my older kids have their own page. I don't have to. I'll post some of their
I think
stuff,
there has to be
a buffer.
I guess a line or a buffer of
that you don't pass.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I see some people like if out of 20 photos they post one photo of themselves, I'm like, it's all their kids, and that's fine. Listen, at the end of the day, you want to post.
To each his own.
But I just think, you know, some of these kids are now growing up. They're in their 20s, mid 20s, and they feel like, hey, you have a lot of embarrassing stuff
of me out there,
and people are seeing it.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So
yeah. I mean, I think there's one. It's not even embarrassing. It's funny. There's the one video of Aiden. Remember when he climbed the counter?
Yes.
He was like,
that's probably
2 or 3 years old. But it wasn't embarrassing. It was just...
No, but he may find it down the road.
Yes. But I didn't post that video.
It was me?
No, it was our daughter.
Oh. But I think, you know, and we're sidetracking the conversation from
No, we're talking about Menudo and GenX and, you know...
Yeah, so I guess we're still talking GenX.
Yeah, we're still talking GenX.
I don't... Maybe because I'm not the generation of the millennials that say, hey, I got to post my kids, I got to post my kids, I got to post my kids.
We do post some
I just think there has to be
it's just like...
a balance. It's your page.
Exactly.
And you could be proud as much as your kids, but nobody's... Here's my thing. You got to treat Facebook like you do outside. Nobody's running around with a photo album down the street. Mm-hmm. Now, of course, you can say, well, it's easier to do it online. It is. Mm-hmm. But again, you're not, you know... I've always learned this, and I'm working in the IT field. If you have over 500 people, you don't know 500 people. Mm-hmm. There are certain people you just don't know who they are at the end of the day and what they do in life and stuff like that.
Or you knew them back then and you don't know who they are now.
They could be totally different people. Murderers, child molesters. It just does. You don't know. Mm-hmm. So when you put your kids out there, you're exposing their images to a lot of. The one story I read is somebody got their house robbed, and I guess they had a ring, and they put some photos on and said, "Hey, this person was in my house and robbed it." And the person commented, "Hey, that person is on your friend list." Like, literally. And the person didn't realize it. Because, again, once you climb up to that 500, 700...
They didn't realize that they posted they were on vacation.
So this
and
person
that knew them came to the house and robbed them.
Because,
yes,
again,
I remember that.
You know, you don't know who that person is now or even 20 years ago. Maybe, I knew that person. And now you make that connection online. But you'd be surprised how much people use Facebook to do just... that kind of stuff because they're like, well, you know,
they're not paying attention.
They left the house and they posted.
Actually, he reminded me the other because sometimes I post things public on my channel, sometimes I post private, and I forgot to switch it back to private.
Right. And when I say private, is the globe. You can see the globe. That means anybody and everybody can see it. And when you have it with the two people, that's on your friend list.
My best friend does not do social media.
Right.
So once in a while, I'll put some of my photos public. So she can go on there and grab certain photos. And then I forget to put things back to private. Like last time, I remember she called me. Hey, I can't see this video. I'm like, because I put everything back to private. And she goes, So I had to switch it back to public so she can go in there and grab it. Because she has a Facebook account. But she doesn't really go on social media. So if she wants something, she'll turn on her account real quick to grab whatever photos that she wants to, download or save.
So now going back to Menudo and Facebook, are there Menudo groups on Facebook? Probably.
Yeah, there are.
You know, did you actually look it up?
I'm part of a couple of them.
Oh my goodness.
I'm part of like the Menudo group, the Barrio Boy group, because that is another, Latin.
I guess one thing is
I'm a Latin girl.
You get, like I'm on a GenX group. I think it's sometimes a little sarcastic or whatever. You do see some of the stuff that you reminisce, and then of course they really blast each other on more sarcasm and stuff like that. But I'm probably on a couple of groups that give you that reminiscing.
Listen, when the videos come up, it just reminds me of lining up with my sisters and dancing, and joking around and writing little when you would get the fan club addresses and writing the
really.
Okay, I said a little too much.
A fan club. No, listen. I mean, I'm pretty sure you got Taylor Swift fan clubs and all that stuff.
When you're at that age, you're a teeny bopper, and you're like, he's gonna read my note and think I'm so special. So you're at that age. I was one of those girls. I'm not gonna deny it.
Cool.
I was on the fan club, and I would write my little love letters and send letters, and record my songs or go out and buy the record. Because back then that's when they had the 45s. And
absolutely.
And he was laughing at me. I was like, their outfits. They were he's like, neon? I'm like, they actually had one outfit where they were neon rain coats.
The outfits were really weird. Because I'm thinking, listen, I listened to music in the 80s. And
for those of you that are younger and don't know what menudo is, go on YouTube and type in Menudo from the 80s.
Well, no, I mean, some of you may...
Ricky Martin.
Your parents. Ask your mom, I guess. Definitely say, Mom, were you a Menudo fan?
I love me some Menudos from the 80s and the 90s.
That's it. Go out there right now and just be like, were you a Menudo fan? She's going to be like, what? Where'd you get that information from? Oh, these people doing a podcast.
You can actually even see the novela on YouTube. Because I actually wanted to see the full novela because I was a kid when I saw this.
Sure.
So, you're a kid, you don't understand. When you're an adult, you understand a little bit more.
Listen, I get it because, I used to play. So in the 80s, you had laser tag and you had photon. Photon was kind of laser tag, but it didn't last long. Mm-hmm. Now, I played photon.
Yeah.
I didn't know there was a show on it until a friend of ours, Josh, said,
right, yeah.
But you didn't watch the photon show? I'm like, a photon show? I'm like, I played the laser tag.
Did you see that is it a laser tag in Brooklyn? It's like an adult arcade.
Well, they have one over here.
No, but this place has like...
Well, that's that area 80.
Yeah, area you can roller skate and then you can play...
They got a whole bunch of things. And
it's like a playground for adults.
Yeah,
I'm going to go. I'm going to go check it out.
Brooklyn is definitely...
Yeah, I don't care how old I am. I'm still a big kid at heart.
Absolutely, you have to be.
I'll do laser tag.
I think that's one thing from the 70s to the 80s and the 60s. I think those generations, they got to that age and like, hey, I'm a grown up. Yeah. And I have big responsibilities and there's no time.
Because GenX, actually somebody posted a video the other day. You see a lounge or a club, whatever, right? Everyone is standing around, but a Gen Xer would be the one standing up dancing.
No, but I'm just saying, I think we didn't age fast compared to the other generations. I don't think the 50s and the 60s and the 70s, those generations back then, and I don't know what the letters or what they were called.
I think life was a lot. Life is always harder.
Well, life is always harder. I just think
the way life was.
They just didn't, once they got to that age, they were like, all right, I'm
time to settle down.
Yeah.
Party's over.
Party's over.
Yeah, now Gen X, we're like
the
we're not done partying.
Yeah, the party's not over yet.
I'm not going to done partying until like my knees don't work anymore.
Yeah. You got to stay relevant. You got to stay young.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that, at least for our kids.
They see that.
Yes, they see that. They know, our parents, like your nieces down in Florida, they get excited when we're coming down.
We're coming down? We're going out? Let's go dancing.
Let's go party.
I love to dance.
Mm-hmm.
I love to dance. So
and there's live music. It's a great time. It's a good time and stuff like that. I don't have fun with that.
But I think that, I'm not saying all generations are like that. I think it depends.
Right. I think Gen X really, it's the person, and I don't think people in the 60s were partying up later in their ages. I don't think people, maybe in the 70s a little bit,
I think
in the 50s and those, they were not as, they were just like, they got to a certain point and all right, I got serious responsibilities and I got to just keep on trucking forward. I think our generation and giving everybody's generation, like, hey, the party don't stop. You got to enjoy life.
Yes. Like, I have one of my aunts, she tells me, she goes, she'll tell me in Spanish, don't sit down. When you sit down and stop doing things, you're watching people go through life.
Right.
Instead of, you get up.
Well,
she'll tell me in Spanish, get up. You got to live life. You don't want to watch life.
Even this channel, when we talk about it, there's going to be probably a lot of other channels that have 30-year-olds in it or 40-year-olds. Mm-hmm. And you're like, well, what do we bring to it? We bring both. We bring the activity that everybody's doing right now because we're still living young. But we also give that look back of knowledge of how it was.
Of the change.
Yeah.
Of the struggles, the change.
Yeah. Because I'm going to tell you right now, and it's not to get off topic, it was still tough to buy this house.
Oh, I think it was sacrifices.
Yeah, it was sacrifices and how we do it.
But like we said before, every generation has those sacrifices.
Right. There was a point where people were talking about this. When I bought this house, it was a 7 1/4, which I thought at that time was great. Mm-hmm. And then once it dropped, I went down and refinanced. But right now it's 7. I don't want to buy a house at 7 1/4. That's why we haven't bought the second house yet. But
we have friends that are like constant because we've been trying or planning to buy our second home for when we retire in Florida, and they're always asking us, when are you going to buy the house? When are you going to buy the house? And we're like, we don't want to pull the trigger because
it's a lot
of the interest rate.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, you can refinance down the road. I don't want to refinance down the road.
If I want to refinance, it's not, I don't want to carry this huge mortgage right now.
No, exactly.
I don't want to carry an extra $1,000.
Yes, exactly.
But anyway, so we're again,
we're staying off. We're getting off traffic.
Again, it's always unscripted, but these are the conversations we're gonna have, and we go about and dig right into it. But
you going back to menudo? Or
I didn't know my wife was a menudo girl. I didn't know what menudo was, or I just kind of forgot about
You're
it.
You're a guy. That's what it is.
I don't have any sisters, even though Janet was downstairs. I just don't recall.
I'm gonna ask Teresa. Well, Teresa was your best friend.
Yeah, let me think about that now. Also.
Yeah, because Teresa, she's gonna call you out.
If she did, I didn't know.
You're a guy. You know what it is? You're a guy, so it's not relevant to you.
Yeah, I was gonna say I didn't.
It's just like to girls when a guy is like crushing on a movie star or whatever. To us, we're not relevant to it. We don't think about it.
Right. So I probably heard it and just like, well, first of all, it's in Spanish, so I didn't know Spanish.
But they did try and cross over. Like you said, you recognized the one song.
That one song because of the movie Cannonball.
Mm-hmm. But they did. I think it was like maybe. I think they released one English album. And I think like only 2 or 3 songs got popular.
You have to play those songs and see if I recognize them. Not Cannonball, like a regular stereo music.
And the only reason they did cross over to English only is when they got the one New Yorker menudo, which was Robbie Rosa.
Hey, and that was the whole name. Look at that, the whole name, Robbie Rosa.
Because he's the trigger.
When you said that, your eyes kind of sparkled.
He's hot. He's hot. Listen, if you guys want to see Robbie Rosa in the glory, you gotta watch. Was it Lambada?
Oh, he was in Lambada?
Yeah, he's the guy from Lambada. Those hips, man. So of course you gotta know. he made it possible for them to try and do that kind of crossover.
Well, I mean, a lot of people do that. I mean, they go from one language and then they come into the English genre and stuff like that.
Sometimes it makes them relevant.
Did Shakira do that?
Yes.
Yeah, Shakira did that.
Oh, a lot of them.
Yeah, so it's not common. I just at
Ricky
that age,
Ricky Martin
I was on MTV listening to British pop, regular rock, White Snake, Tears for Fears, all that music.
Oh, yeah, I'm also 2 years younger than you, so I was.
Oh my God, it's not that big of a difference.
Well, you know, I was 13, 12, and I was like going crazy over Menudo, and I didn't have MTV like you said. He's always like pounding me on that. I didn't have no MTV. That's all right. I had Menudo.
That is true though. There was we did listen to Music Box. Because it wasn't on cable, it was you had to kind of recall when it was.
Yes, and I was a Music Box girl. That's
why
I'm an R&B.
I hate girl. So here's my thing. So I say recall because I can't say that damn word. Remember.
Yeah, go ahead. Try and say it. What's the word?
Remember.
Remember.
So I say recall. So every time you hear me say recall, it's because I can't say the other damn word. I can't.
It's been like that forever.
And I noticed when we were starting this podcast and all this stuff, and I wanted to say that word, and I quickly just recall. So that is my go-to word, and I think it's such a strange word to say. I had to recall that when I really want to say...
Remember?
Yes. We found out because of that stupid Android, R2-D2. We had one of those voice robots, Astromechs, and you had to say, R2-D2, do you remember?
Remember.
Darth Vader. And for a while, it wasn't doing anything.
Bring it down here one day. It's like this big.
And my daughter goes, Dad, you're saying the word wrong. I'm like, what? And then she said it, and the R2-D2, he screams, he turns around or whatever.
Those little bonkers.
Yeah. Me, I can't say that word, so recall. But,
So, yeah. So now he knows my deep, dark Menudo
That's fine.
Secret.
Did you have posters?
No, because...
Really? Because posters were big in the 80s.
Okay, I was saying because my mom...
wasn't a poster fan.
Was not a poster fan.
See, my mom let us put posters up.
My mom, we were not allowed to hang anything up on our bedroom walls because my mom wanted them to be perfect.
You know what I find is when you talk about these generations, the 80s was posters. You had rock posters.
I had friends that had posters.
Farrah Fawcett, Heather Locklear.
Yeah, I know.
It was all about posters back in the day.
I know. We tried to put up one poster.
What about even a magazine poster, like the little...
No, my mom would take them off.
Even the magazine
Yes,
poster?
We weren't allowed to put them... Do you remember going to my mom's apartment?
Yeah, it was very...
What color were the walls?
The same color as all of the walls. They're like white, off-white.
Exactly.
Yeah, that was...
She would not let us... She didn't want no dings, no dots, nothing on her walls. Wow. So we weren't allowed. One time I put a poster, I came back from school, it was gone. She didn't even save it. She was like...
It's rough.
Yeah.
It's rough.
So
rough living in a very strict Latin house.
Very.
Where in my house,
we were
Latin, but not that strict.
No, so we had to
put a poster up.
No, we had to do our doodling and all that stuff on our record. You know how you get the record thing on top of there, like you had to write your little hearts on there, or we had.
Wow, it's rough.
It's
rough. It's rough living that strong Latin Hispanic culture. I'm glad that I didn't have to live in
I gotta correct
giant hammer.
We had one poster hidden, closet door. That was the only. She didn't really go into our closet, so you open the closet door, and the inside of the closet there was one poster.
Was it Menudo at least?
For a little while. Then, it was Menudo for a little while. Then it was Backstreet Boys.
Wait, was Backstreet Boys in the 90s? No, they weren't.
Was it? No. Oh no, not Backstreet. NSYNC.
No.
It was one of them that was.
No way.
Yes, it was.
NSYNC was that far back?
It was Backstreet Boys because my sister Edith was obsessed with them also. Backstreet Boys, yes.
That came in the 80s?
Late 80s.
I'm gonna look that up.
Late 80s.
Think so.
Late 80s. I was about maybe
I met you in the 80s.
You met me in 88, 89.
Okay, that's late 80s.
Okay, like I'm going to say 88, 87, 86.
No way Backstreet Boys were in 87.
Yes, they were.
I can't use this phone because it's the timer on it, but I wish I could because I would look it up. Please, but I'm going to look it up.
Girl. I listen to them. My sister and I have a lot of sisters, so we were into boy bands.
There's nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying, again, I Yeah, I don't even remember that Backstreet Boys route.
Because you're a guy.
Yeah, I guess, yeah. All right, take it easy.
Yeah, because NSYNC is 90s. Backstreet Boys.
All right. Anyway, definitely, if you were a Menudo fan, make her day. Say yes, comment. Did you have posters? Put it all down in the comment section. Who was your
favorite Menudo? My favorite Menudo was Ricky. Now Ricky Martin, the other Ricky with the bracelet.
And for those that don't know, and if you're Hispanic, ask your parents. Like, hey, were you Menudo fans? You never talked about the Menudo days. You know, and then you'll probably back them, and you'll see your mom go, those were the days. You know, I had the little pin.
We chased the limousines down when they came to New York.
Oh my goodness.
Like Menudo Mania.
But definitely like, subscribe.
Let us know.
Help us grow this channel.
Give us your opinions.
We've gotten a lot more videos coming out. We've got we're scripting out we're scripting the topic.
We're not script.
We're scripting the topic.
Yes, we plan our topics.
Yeah, we plan our topics.
We're trying to write them down so that we don't re-talk about certain things, because I don't like to be repetitive on certain things. I think that is kind of boring sometimes. So people are like, oh, they talked about this. I don't want to see that again.
Yeah. What do we have? What topics do we have coming out? What are we talking about?
So. One topic is I'm a Home Depot Lowe's girls.
Oh yeah, we could.
He's not. Yeah. So
we're gonna talk about that.
I mean,
that's
I know
a spring topic.
It is gonna be a spring topic. Yeah. You know how we talked, like, I'm the handy one here, he's the tech person here.
Yeah.
So once spring comes, I get in full mode. Yeah. Like, it drives me nuts.
Yep.
Because I will be, even though I work out every day and things like that, I push it. I go full blown. Whatever leaves were left behind in the fall, I clean them all up. I rake. I treat the lawn. I make sure.
But I'm just saying. So that topic we're going to talk about. I think we're going to talk about where we're planning vacations ready for 2024.
That's also one of our topics.
I think that may be the next one. I think we should put that
planning
one up
our vacations.
Because we kind of are ready.
Our little getaways and things like that.
So again, we'll see you in the next episode. Definitely like, subscribe, share the content.
Give us your opinion.
Give us your opinion in your comments, and help us grow this channel. Thank you.
God bless.
Take care, everybody. Bye.